Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency for Florida as Tropical Storm Ian gathered strength over the Caribbean and is expected to bring intense hurricane rain and wind to the state next week. Now some people in the Jacksonville area are heading to the grocery store to stock up before the storm, leaving some Publix water bottle shelves almost empty.
People have begun preparing for the worst just in case by stocking up on necessary items. Bree, is there anything still on those shelves?
A lot of those water bottles already off the shelves. Take a look. What were you going to Publix for today?
Just to get some water. There's a state of emergency for the state of Florida.
Manami has lived in Ponte Vedra for more than 20 years, so she's used to having to prepare for hurricanes. She says the Publix near her home was busy Saturday.
The guys who were stacking the shelves said that by the end of the day that they would be clear out of the water again.
Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this conversation about the hurricane that's about to strike Florida and the consequences thereof, I wanted to put out this message, and I hope that you listen to your advisors there in Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, your safety first and foremost is the most important thing, and not only to you, but to many people around you that love you and care for you. So please be safe. Do what you have to do to be safe in this situation. I see so many videos of when there's hurricanes that are strong hurricanes, of people still trying to drive in the streets and floods, of people actually walking through the streets trying to get somewhere. All right, just have a plan, be safe. It would be detrimental to me to find out that something happened to one of our community members that lives in Florida because you didn't have a plan. Now, what I want to talk about today is this. I want to talk about how all of the shelves in Florida for the past few days have been getting stripped of essential items. And I want to go ahead and say that these darn preppers are just stripping the shelves. All right, so you preppers, you should be ashamed of yourselves for hoarding everything and not leaving any for anyone else. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you know that I was being a little hyperbolic there and sarcastic as well. For a long time, people who are labeled preppers, all right, and we call ourselves preppers because it's a word, right? It's how we identify what we do in order to survive any situation that may come along that is obviously out of our control. It's a way of us keeping control while there is no control elsewhere. Right? So preppers are labeled as being hoarders, as not caring about anyone else. But today I want to go ahead and revisit this subject matter and show you who the real culprit is in there being shortages and the shelves being wiped out. In this case, you know, in this instance, it's in Florida, right? And who is it that is really wiping the shelves out, and how we can keep this from happening in the future. As you can see here, I just pulled up a few articles that show what's going on in Florida as far as the shelves being stripped out. This one here is from Jacksonville, Florida, and it says essential items fly off local store shelves ahead of Ian, meaning Hurricane Ian. Florida residents fuel up empty store shelves ahead of Hurricane Dorian. This is an example from back a couple of years ago, showing you that this is not something that's just happening. It's something that's always happened, and pretty much showing you that humans, we humans, all right, me included, you know, we're together, that we really don't like to learn from the past, and that very few do, and that there's so many of us that always make the same mistake over and over again, and instead of taking a step back and looking at, hey, what can I do? So that instead of having to go out there and panic buy before a storm of any kind, that I can already be prepared. That way I don't have to go out there and, you know, challenge the masses of other people that have the same thought of mine as I do. That, hey, we'll just wait for a day or two before the storm or before whatever is going to happen. We'll go out there and prep. Well, guess what? There's probably several thousands, if not tens of thousands, depending on where you live, that are thinking the same way. So is it smart to be prepared ahead of time so that you can expend your energy doing other things, like maybe reinforcing your windows, maybe filling sandbags, whatever it may be, all right? I've never been in the path of a hurricane where I had to prepare for it. I just never lived in an area where we had a hurricane like that, where we had to prepare for it. I did live in Florida for about a year and a half after I got out of high school, but that was a short stint and we didn't have hurricanes then. But do you really want to be one of these people that is having to contest against other people in the store for that last pack of bottled water? And do you really want to be a hoarder? Because it really is you who are being the hoarder when you go out there a day or two before something is supposed to happen and then strip the shelves knowing that other people behind you are going to need some of that stuff too, because they're just not prepared, just like you. And here's the last one that I picked out. Shelves empty as South Floridians ready themselves for possible Hurricane Ian. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not picking on Florida. I'm not picking on any particular person, but we can always learn from experiences, even if we don't have them ourselves. I'm here in Alaska, and I can learn from an experience or something that's going on in Florida. But I would hope that those of you that maybe just clicked on this channel for the first time, maybe find that there's a little bit of common sense in what I'm telling you. And that is that you, ladies and gentlemen, you that were not prepared ahead of time, you that vilify preppers because they're hoarders, you are the problem. You are the ones that are going out there and stripping the store shelves empty ahead of whoever comes after you. Why? Because you failed to prepare. However, the mainstream media for years has vilified preppers, showing them as hoarders, showing them as people that don't care about anyone else, when in fact it is the exact opposite. This is a short article that I found from a couple of years ago, and it says the media vilifies preppers as those stocking up as selfish hoarders. And this was during the health crisis, during the beginning of the health crisis. So preppers are the selfish hoarders, according to the media, and this is what people see. You have to understand, like I said, if you're watching here for the first time, you have to understand that you've been programmed in many ways, and this is one of the ways that you've been programmed, to think about people that had the forethought and the sense to be prepared ahead of time, right, well ahead of time, as hoarders, as people that don't care about your well-being, when in fact you don't care about your well-being. Why? Because you are not becoming prepared. Even though you've gone through this several times, even though you've been through more than one hurricane and more than one instance where you went to the stores and you saw that they were all out of water, all out of toilet paper, all out of flour, rice, whatever it may be, you still continue to play the same game even though you know what the outcome is going to be. That you're going to get to the store and you're going to have to contest against a whole bunch of other people that weren't prepared, and you're going to hopefully not have to fight for that last 24 pack of water or whatever it may be that you're looking for, right? So why not get on board and get prepared? You don't want to call yourself a prepper? That is great. Don't call yourself a prepper, but be a prepper. Go out there and get prepared ahead of time. One thing that you have to understand about preparedness is this. Preppers get their preps slow and steady. They don't go out there like you're going out there right now and buying 10 cases of anything, right? They go out there and they buy slow and steady when the shelves are still full, right? So the shelves are still full. You go out there, you get 10 boxes of mac and cheese, let's say, just for example. Right? When you get those 10 boxes of mac and cheese, there's still a whole bunch of boxes of mac and cheese there. And the stores have plenty of time to replenish what you just purchased. And there's still more left for other people to buy. That is prepping up. You're getting the things that you know you're going to use ahead of time. That way you can have a surplus of it in your home in case something like this happens, a hurricane, or it could be anything else, not just a hurricane. That's what preppers do. What we live in is we live in a just-in-time delivery system basis, right? It's called just-in-time deliveries, right? To where supermarkets, they don't really have a lot of stock except of what you see right there on the floor. They expect trucks to come in on a daily or every other day basis so that they can continue filling their stocks on the shelves as people buy them. That's a just-in-time system. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so when everyone goes out there in one shot and clears out the shelves, it's going to empty it out because there's nothing in the back. There's nothing being stored in the back, and if there is, it's very little. So if you go out there and clear it out, it's going to be gone until they get their next delivery. However, if you go out there and you think ahead of time and you buy a little bit at a time and you expand your pantry to where you have at least a week or two, For goodness gracious, what does it hurt to have a 2-week supply of food? At the very minimum, 2-week supply of food. What does it hurt to have that? What does it hurt to have a 2-week supply of water? Right? If you fill up a 55-gallon barrel of water and treat it and have a water filter, you've got enough water for a couple of weeks for 2 people, easily. So what does it hurt to do that? But instead, you rather call preppers hoarders, who are the opposite of what hoarding is, and then go on your merry way and try to contend against other people for that last pack of water. Does it make sense to you that maybe you ought to be a little bit prepared? You don't have to have a year's worth of food or sustenance, but at the very minimum, have what you will need to get through a hurricane, to get through a storm. I would say have the very minimum that you would need to get through a job loss. What if you lost your jobs and you didn't find a job for another 3 months or 6 months? Wouldn't it be nice not to have to worry about having to go buy food, having to go buy water, this, that, whatever it is that you use on a daily basis? Wouldn't it be smart for you to have a room in your home where you have enough of a stockpile where you didn't have to worry about that if you just lost your job, which happens all the time? I think that makes sense. And what I think doesn't make sense are people who don't prepare at all, who have a day or 2 worth of food in their home, in their pantries or in their cabinets and in their refrigerators. And then when it comes to something like this, when they've been given a week or 2 of notice that, hey, this is probably going to happen, they wait till the last 1 or 2 or even 3 days and then put all that pressure on the supply system that otherwise would never be there. Imagine if everyone had a couple of weeks worth of sustenance and provisions in their homes. What do you think would happen to the stores during these times, right before a hurricane? They may still get a little bit hit because people may still want to get that little bit of extra just in case, but not nearly as much as they are now by you, the non-preppers. You, the people that vilify those that want to be prepared, those that are part of the answer, and those that are part of the solution, where you, the non-prepper, you are part of the problem. Now, I came across this article here that's short, and I'm going to leave the link to all of these in a pinned comment so that you can revisit them if you like. But it says the difference between hoarders and preppers. And let's just take a quick look, because this is a pretty easy read and nice read as well. But they say, is prepping a good idea? Yes, it is. Is hoarding a good idea? No, it's not. Well, what's the difference between hoarding and prepping? We'll get to that here in a minute. Do preppers plan things out? Yes. Do hoarders plan things out? No. Does it have a purpose to be prepared? Absolutely. I just talked about that for about the last 10 minutes or so. And is there a purpose for hoarding? Absolutely not. There's no purpose for hoarding. Can you take this too far, preppers? Absolutely, you can take prepping too far. I believe that if you take prepping too far, that you become a hoarder. If you prep and you just buy stuff and buy stuff and buy stuff and you just throw it in a corner, you don't rotate your food, you don't know where anything is, in my opinion, you're starting to turn into a hoarder. For example, I have a whole bunch of stuff, but right now, if my wife called me up here, which she won't because it's what, 4:41 in the morning a.m. But if she called me right now and said, hey, Alaska Prepper, where's the cranberry sauce? I thought we had some more and I want to make a turkey dinner today, even though Thanksgiving is a couple of months away. First thing I would say is like, no, we're not using our turkey. We're saving that turkey that Billy Bob got me for Thanksgiving. We're using that for Thanksgiving. Who knows if there's going to be turkeys this year? But I would say, okay, go ahead and go into the pantry, look straight ahead and look about 1 foot off the floor and you're going to see a case of cranberry sauce that we have there put away. That actually one of our community members sent me a couple of years ago, and I have enough cranberry sauce now for probably the next 3 or 4 or 5 Thanksgivings. So thank you. All right. But anyways, I can tell her exactly where it is. Where's the green beans? Here. You know, where's the spice? Here. Where's the adobo? Here. Where's the cafe bustelo? You know, go ahead and turn, make a right hand turn. It's right there, eye level. All right, a prepper knows where their stuff is. A hoarder, they have to dig through piles of stuff to try to find what they're looking for, if they even care what it is that they have. So you can go too far as a prepper, but I believe that you start turning into a hoarder when you're done, when you do. Are they organized? Preppers? Of course, I just told you, preppers are organized. Are hoarders organized? Absolutely not. Is it a diagnosable disease? I don't think that there's a disease called prepping, but there is a disease called hoarding. Do they live normal lives? Do they fit in? I think I fit in, and I think that all the preppers that I know fit in, again, there are some preppers that take things too far, and those are the types of personalities that the mainstream media likes to put out there for everyone to see. Why, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you why. Because prepping is the right thing to do. Being prepared, no one can contest this. You out there cannot say that I'm wrong in saying what I'm saying right now. Being prepared is the right thing to do, because it takes pressure off the system when others that did not prepare are putting pressure on the system. Just like all of those people out there right now in Florida who are stripping the supermarket shelves. That is why prepping is the answer to getting rid of all of these empty shelves pre-crises. Will they be ready to survive emergencies? Preppers, yes they will. Hoarders, no. But here they give you a quick explanation of what a hoarder is. I am not a medical professional, so I'm not making any statements as to what any kind of diagnosable disease or illness is. I'm just reading from this article. And it says, hoarders. The best way to start this off would be to simply define what a hoarder is. A hoarder is a person with a genuine personality disorder which cripples their ability to function normally and to have a normal life. Now again, I'm just reading off of this, and you all know that I have to say this over and over again because we are on the internet. But that is what this person here is saying that a hoarder is. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what they classify a prepper as. Preppers, on the other hand, are completely organized when it comes to their stockpile. We never call our stockpile a hoard because it's not a hoard. To do so would diminish the value of our hard work, and it does take work in order to be prepared. But slow and steady does win the race, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in case you have not visited the Nutrient Survival YouTube channel, they are doing a giveaway the rest of the month of September. So you only have another, 4 or 5 days left in September. And they're doing giveaways during their live streams at 2 p.m. Alaska time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, every single day till the end of September. And in addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Nutrient Survival did something that he's never done before. And he's giving a 20% discount if you use the code above. So I have the code in the description of the video as well, along with the link to Nutrient Survival. Disclaimer, I am affiliated with Nutrient Survival. However, it's only because they're the very best and nutrient-dense long-term food storage that there is on the market. 25-year shelf life, in addition to the most nutrient-dense food that you're going to get in any kind of survival food, and I would dare to say almost any other food as well. So take a look at the link in the bottom of the description of the video, along with the code for 20% off, and it's only till the end of this month. All right, so go check it out if you are in the market for some long-term freeze-dried food. And don't just buy it to hoard it. Make sure that you try it and you rotate it. You're going to love it. Having said that, let's go ahead to a piece of great news. The Costco's chief financial officer says that the price of the $1.50 hot dog and soda combo is here to stay forever. Hallelujah. I thought I'd throw that in there for a little bit of humor, but I really do love Costco's. You all know that I do, and I love their hot dogs. I have one every once in a while, and man, how can you go wrong with a huge hot dog like that? Look at that hot dog. It's huge. And a soda or whatever it is that you get on the side. Having said that, I hope you have a great day. I have another video to put out today, and I'm very excited about this because I've been waiting for this to get in for a while. It's kind of like a review video, but it's more really a show and tell to show you what I got, putting it together and putting it to use. So having said that, I hope you have a great day. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. When we all do this, the world will be a better place. Don't be a hoarder. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out. God bless you all. Have a great day.